Hello and welcome to Lesson 1 of the Society and Culture Core Social and Cultural Continuity and Change. I'd like to point out that I'm recording this outside, so you do have an outdoors soundscape. I'll see if I can get a picture of where I am. Hold on a second. So there you go. There's me. My name's Steph, and I'll be taking you through this very first lesson of what will be the core depth study for society and culture. So first of all, we want the students to create a concept map. Now, this concept map is represented by this diagram in the 8 ways. They can start this during the lesson and they can complete it for homework. And as you can see, we're going to do that on a plant pot. Now, the reason for that is these land links. And we'll use this plant as a strong and deep analogy for pretty much the whole of the course. It's going to provide us with the learning map, obviously, which will be on the pot. It's also going to provide us with land links, community links, and symbols and images. So you can see here, we've got a reference to a reading about trees living in communities. Now, when you read that reading, if it's not immediately apparent, the reason that we've put that reading in is because it creates a great analogy for people and people's communities. And that's also very strong land links. It's also symbols and images, and it's also community links. So you'll notice this deconstruct, reconstruct symbol coming up a lot. And what I want to point out about that is that the entire course runs in a deconstruct, reconstruct mode, but also each lesson runs through that in a sort of micro teaching format. So you've got that macro for the whole course and micro for each lesson. So in this first lesson, students are going to be introduced to the concept of research. We're going to do this through the deconstruct and reconstruct model. And so first of all, we're going to give them completed research to have a look at. So you start with the whole and then you break it down into its parts. We're going to give lists and explanations of the primary research methods that were used and how they've worked. And then we're going to reconstruct it at the other end into our own form of research. So students are going to gather stories from people they know using the primary research methods, and they can present their findings as written material, spoken material, it can be visual, it can be sung. All forms of expression are equally valid. And that's a really important one. What we want to know is that they have understood the task and managed to gather the research. The way that's expressed isn't as important. What happens is the student will express that in a way that has meaning for them, and hopefully in that way the memory will attach to the type of research that they've done. So you can see that that activity moves through this deconstruct, reconstruct concept. So this concept map that they put on the pot will be carrying on through the entire course. So you'll notice as we go through this unit, I'll be making reference to that pot plant a lot. So it's important that they do that because it is going to be a land link and a symbol or an image, an analogy that we're going to run all the way through the unit. So I'm looking forward to doing this with you. It's going to be great, and hopefully you'll see as the course goes on how it all comes together. Thanks.